Hello and welcome to another super-powered episode of Jim and Matt at the Movies, the show where the two of us sit and give our opinions on movies we've seen. I'm Jimmy Price.
And I am Matthew Oswald.
And before we go into the review with the clothes that we are already wearing from the last review, we're going to introduce a new segment of the show called the Trailer of the Week.
Alright, Jimmy, but what is Trailer of the Week?
Well, you know that there are a lot of trailers that were released, and many different people have different opinions on said trailers. And I feel with this new segment, we could pick apart 6 trailers that we like. I give you 3, you give me 3, and we'll just collide them together as nominations. And then we'll pick 2 out of the bunch to be Trailer of the Week or runner-up. Don't you think that's a great idea?
I think that's a great idea. So what is the Trailer of the Week?
Well, we can't just go announcing the Trailer of the Week without establishing the basic nominations that we need for this Trailer of the Week. And I would really like it if you help me announce the nominations.
Okay, so this week's nominees for Trailer of the Week are
Artemis Fowl,
Detective Pikachu,
Dumbo,
Toy Story 4,
The Lion King,
Aquaman,
and the Trailer of the Week for this episode is
Detective Pikachu.
And the runner-up being Toy Story 4. So Matt, what did you think of the Trailer of the Week?
At first, I thought Detective Pikachu would be all cheesy and everything, but whenever I watch the trailer, it actually looks like it's a good quality film, and I think I would like to go see it now.
I definitely agree with you, because judging from the thumbnail alone, I was really not invested into this trailer at all. But as I watched the trailer in its entirety, I had mixed feelings, not only as a avid movie watcher, critic, but this also affects me as a Pokemon fan. I really want this film to do good, and trust me, I do. I really do. But enough of me rambling about the Trailer of the Week. So, what are we reviewing today?
Today, we are reviewing Avengers Infinity War, released in April 27th of 2018. A movie that makes Norm of the North completely forgotten.
Whoa. I wouldn't say forgotten, because the film will still live on in internet history thanks to YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that other stuff. But its reviews certainly reflect that, with an 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 5 out of 5 on Common Sense, and a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. So Matt, you got anything else you want to add to that?
And 95% of Google users like this movie. There's just so many people that are blown away by this movie at the theater, because you could look up people's reactions to this movie on YouTube. People act all crazy and excited about it.
Well, why couldn't they get excited? It made over $2 billion at the box office. $2 billion. I feel that's a great thing, but I'm not going to lie, this film left me with something. It had a few problems, but I'm not going to go into that. We're going to go into that later, but I'm not going to address them right now. And I feel that it could really weigh the movie down, but I'm not going to let it bring me down or the film down just because of a few simple flaws. And what do you think?
I mean, what you could be saying is like, you're having problems because it's not 100% comic accurate, right?
Yeah, because comic creators need to be movie makers, because if they want to adapt a comic book into a movie, you have to represent it with enough justice.
But then again, not all movie makers are comic book creators. Whenever you're making a movie, you want to make it feel like that it's a movie rather than a comic.
Exactly.
And this movie definitely did that.
Yep. You hear that, Zack Snyder? You need to be taking notes. So, okay, now enough about ranting about Zack Snyder. Our cases are made clear, but now we're going to go into the review, but with a little twist.
What do you mean, a twist?
Well, remember when we reviewed Norm of the North and we picked apart to see what's wrong with it? Well, I feel we'll do the exact opposite. We'll be comparing Norm of the North to Avengers Infinity War and seeing how it did good. Do you think that's a great idea?
That sounds like a marvelous idea.
Let's talk about the story.
Spoiler alert, of course.
Now, this story has been built up for 10 years. 10 years, and trust me, that is really long compared by Marvel standards. And to avoid confusion, we're going to be discussing the movie as a whole, not picking apart all the movies and trying to figure out where the timeline and such. And trust me, that is long. And it will make this review longer. So we're just going to go pick apart the storyline and go along as it follows, with Thor and his group going to collect his new hammer, Tony and his group going over to Titan, Captain America and his group going to Wakanda to help to help out Black Panther and Vision and whatnot. But in the end, several people have died, which I felt kind of sucks. But hey, at least we got Captain Marvel to help us cheer us up. So Matt, what did you think?
I think that this movie is a movie that Marvel fans have been waiting for a very long time. Because
Marvel fans have been expecting death for all their favorite comic book characters?
Well, you gotta understand that, like, they have to kill off some major characters to add in new ones so that it could give, like, the story a little bit of a twist. And so it's like, oh, this character is definitely gonna live. So that you can have a little twist like that. But overall, the movie was really entertaining. The special effects looked amazing. And also the action scenes were also excellent. So I really had fun with this movie.
All right, but we're taking a part of the story, and we're not dissecting the whole thing. But I feel that you should really, really, really save that for when we're giving it the star rating system. And about this story, I really wanted this to do good because it's based off of the greatest comic book series of all time. And to my surprise, several things were changed, but keep in mind, this is only the first part to a two-part series, so I'm gonna cut it some slack. But overall, it was a great first part, even though it was so upsetting at the end. Now, let's see how this story improved over Norman the North's. Now, I think this story has improved a lot, and trust me, that is saying a lot. But keep in mind, these stories are two different stories. Like, Norman the North is completely different. Infinity War is completely different. But my only problem with Infinity War is that it directs thematic focus or tone. And that's not a problem that I would say it's a nitpick, but it comes a little close. Wouldn't you agree?
Not exactly. I mean, the only problems that I really have, and it's only minor, so it's not a big deal, and this is also personal, is like, I really wish Tony Stark would have stopped trying to just get rid of Peter Parker to get away from the fight.
Yeah, but he's a teenager.
But he's a teenage superhero.
So, what does that mean?
He's a teenage superhero that can fight and have good fighting skills.
Yeah, but keep in mind, he's still a teenager, and he dies in the end with the, oh, I don't feel so good cliche.
Yeah, but it's just something that got really on my nerves. It was just annoying, in my opinion. But it's just me. It might be different for some other people, but...
Yeah, just you giving your opinions because you're a big Spider-Man fan. But enough about ranting about Spider-Man and whatnot. But anyway, as we're on the topic of Spider-Man, let's talk about the characters.
I would like to talk about Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange plays a very, very important role in this film.
Well, that is true, and he is played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
And he has one of the stones that Thanos is going after, and he tries so hard to keep it from him, and then at the end of the movie, he gives it to Thanos.
As a part of a quote-unquote plan.
Yeah, but we'll see that in the next movie. But anyway, and then also, Iron Man also kind of takes up the role as leader after the Avengers split up.
Exactly, and that's very fitting because he's played by Robert Downey Jr.
And then also, the main antagonist in this film is obviously Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. And he is after 5 Infinity Stones so that he can wipe out half of the universe with a snap like that.
Thank you. I really didn't want to have to snap. But keep in mind, we're not talking about the characters individually. Oh, we're not picking apart Doctor Strange. We're not picking apart Thanos. We're picking apart the characters individually. And overall, the characters were really great. And that's really good because I feel that these characters deserve the time and effort they deserve. You hear that, DC? They deserve better. Do what this movie did. But now, enough about me rambling about DC. Let's compare these characters and how they compare to Norman the North's characters. Okay, now these characters have a whole lot differences between Norman the North. And that is because they have personality, they have traits that they can bounce off each other. And that's not a problem, that's fine. More power to you. But as this film continues, Bill Lord and Chris Miller kind of forgot what these characters were about, what they represented, and have different films like Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, and so forth. But that's just a little nitpick. I'm not going to go into much detail about it because, let's face it, we're talking about Infinity War. So, Matt, you got any problems with any of these characters?
I don't really have any problems with these characters at all. I mean, since like most of them had like their own solo movies, so they're actually well developed already, so that you don't have to worry about cramming into like a lot of background stories into one movie.
Yeah, but several of these characters really didn't have solo films, like Scarlet
I know,
Witch,
that's why
Vision.
I said most.
Oh, okay.
But because of that, it had a really focused story.
Yep. But now we come to the grand finale, which is the star rating system. And now we're going to do this with a little twist. We're going to compare how this movie did to Norm of the North. Now, we don't really exactly remember Norm of the North. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and you gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Am I right?
No. Norm of the North?
Yeah.
No, I gave it a 0.
Well, anyway, let's see how this movie compared to others. So what did you give this movie?
I give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars, mainly because I do think like Marvel should not have as much like jokes throughout the movie as they normally do, so that I can make it actually a little bit more powerful and have a little bit of an impact. Now, I'm not saying completely remove the jokes. Like, I'm saying not have it as much so that you can actually have more of a like better tone of the film. And also my nitpicky one about Iron Man trying to kick out Spider-Man for helping.
Well, as a fan of the MCU, I really enjoyed this. This was an action-packed movie. As a viewer of movies, it was great, but with a few problems. But as a critic, I don't know what to say about it. The characters were great, but they have their own problems. The story is fine and very well structured, but it has its own problems. But the film overall, it was great. It was fantastic. And I'm not going to give it a low score just because of a few problems. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5. Why not? Because a movie like this deserves to have this much attention.
Oh yeah, it certainly does. Now, what did you guys think of this movie? Did you like it or did you not like it? Leave it in the comments below.
Or you could follow us on our social medias and we can chat there. So Matt, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Snapchat.
And you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and Twitch, where I'll try to find a regular streaming schedule. Hey, man, you're not going to believe this, but
What?
my irony senses are tingling.
Don't you mean your spider senses?
No, dude, no spider sense. Do you want to get sued?